Hello friends, welcome to the Global Pulse. Sunnis are not heard, Baha'is are not even allowed to reach the grave, and Iran is dreaming of becoming the leader of Indian Muslims. Minorities in Iran, who question the condition of Muslims in India, are living in a very bad situation. Sunni Muslims are discriminated against on a large scale in Shia-majority Iran. Members of the minority Baha'i community are also arbitrarily detained by the police. Also, people who convert to Christianity are given the death penalty. Ministry of External Affairs reacted quite sharply to the statement given by the Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei about the condition of Muslims in India. India has said that the Iranian leader's statement is unacceptable. In fact, on Monday, Khamenei alleged that Muslims are suffering in India as well as in Gaza and Myanmar. We cannot consider ourselves Muslims if we are not aware of the suffering Muslims are suffering in Myanmar, Gaza, India or any other place, the Iranian leader said in a post on social media site X on Monday. On Monday, the Foreign Ministry issued a statement rejecting Khamenei's statement as unacceptable. The ministry said that this allegation is based on false information. We strongly condemn the comments made by the Supreme Leader of Iran on minorities in his India. These are misinformation and unacceptable. India showed the mirror to discrimination laid in Iran. Holding up a mirror to Iran, the ministry said that countries making such comments on the treatment of minorities in India should check their human rights record before taking any decision. Countries commenting on minorities are advised to review their own records before making any comments about others, the statement said. Minorities in Iran are in a very bad situation for a long time. Iran, who commented on the minorities of India, has a very poor record on minorities, which is widely criticized internationally. International human rights organizations and the US have always targeted Iran about this. According to the Iranian government, 99.4% of the country's total population are Muslims, of which 90 to 95% are Shia and 5 to 10% are Sunni Muslims. The 2023 report by human rights organization Amnesty International said religious minorities including Sunni Muslims, Baha'is, and Christians, Ganbari dervishes, Jews and Yersens have faced discrimination in the law, including access to education, employment, child adoption, political offices, and religious sites. Hundreds of people have been arbitrarily detained, unjustly prosecuted, tortured for professing or practicing their faith, the report said. In Iran, those who profess atheism face the risk of arbitrary detention and the death penalty for apostasy, the report said. Despite being Muslims, Sunnis face persecution in Iran. Muslims who follow the Sunni sect of Islam are widely discriminated against in Shia-majority Iran. The state of discrimination is that most Sunni Muslims do not even have their own mosque to offer prayers. Sunni Muslims are prevented from reaching high positions in politics or bureaucracy. They can neither become president nor head of the judiciary. Sunni Muslims make up half of the population of Iran's Sistan-Baluchistan province. There is a shortage of electricity and water in the towns and villages here, which the Iranian government does not pay any attention to. According to a November 2022 report by the Fikra Forum of the US-based think tank the Washington Institute, only 12 of the 277 members elected to the Majlis Kobregan, a gathering of religious experts in Iran, are Sunni. The members come from only two provinces in Iran with a large Sunni population, Sistan-Baluchistan and Kurdistan. According to the report, only 6%, 121 of 1,996, of the elected lawmakers in Iran since the establishment of the Iranian Parliament Majlis in 1980 are Sunni. Sunni MPs won in districts where the population was Sunni majority. Atrocities on Sunni women are still continued. In September 2022, Iran police detained a Kurdish Sunni woman, Mahsa Amini, for not wearing the hijab properly. Her death in police custody sparked widespread protests in Sistan and Baluchistan's capital Zahedan, which quickly spread across the country. On September 30, 2022, over 80 people were shot dead by security forces in an attempt to suppress the protests. Police took positions on rooftops around the city's Grand Mosque, Iran's largest Sunni mosque, and opened fire on Sunni crowds gathered for a demonstration after Friday prayers. There is a lot of discrimination against the Baha'i community in Iran. The community does not even have a constitutional status and does not have a single seat reserved for it in parliament. They do not have the right to higher education, and Iranian authorities arbitrarily arrest him. Even after death, the Iranian authorities do not allow the Baha'is to live in their graves in peace. The Baha'i sect, which was suffering from exploitation in Iran, was founded in Iran. The sect was founded by Baha'u'llah in 1863. The number of people who believe in this religion worldwide is about 6 million. In its 2023 report, Amnesty International said the Baha'i community was prevented from higher education, their businesses were forcibly closed and their assets frozen. They were also arbitrarily detained. Authorities prevented Baha'i people from being buried in a cemetery used in Tehran for decades and forcibly buried many dead Baha'is at the nearby Kavran Mass Cemetery. This was also not reported to their families, and Baha'i burial practices were violated by reburying them. The cemetery in Tehran is believed to contain the remains of the victims of the 1988 prison massacre, which were virtually destroyed. Our persecution doesn't end even when we die. According to the Baha'i International Community, BIC, 30 Baha'is and 45 recently dead Baha'is were buried in Tehran's Kavran Cemetery. In March this year, Iranian authorities bulldozed his grave and destroyed all the graves. The BIC had then said, stones, badges and flowers were all destroyed on the graves of our community. Iranian officials ran a bulldozer over the graves and leveled the place. Our torture does not end even when we die. They want to put pressure on the Baha'i community in every possible way, the BIC representative to the UN, Simin Fahandez, told AFP. These people have faced persecution all their lives, denied the right to go to university, and now their graves are leveled. The U.S. State Department's Office of International Religious Freedom condemned it. The office said it condemned the destruction of graves in the cemetery. Baha'is are facing violations of unreal and burial rights in Iran. We have also seen that the government has increased the confiscation of Baha'i properties and used bogus prosecutions to sentence Baha'is to long prison sentences, the State Department said. According to the UN, at least 70 Baha'is are currently in custody or serving prison sentences, while another 1,200 are facing court proceedings or have been sentenced to prison terms. Baha'i community members and observers say the Baha'i community has been a victim of repression over the past 4.5 decades, but repression has been at its sharpest in recent years. In Iran, those who convert to Christianity are also arbitrarily arrested and sentenced to imprisonment as well as deportation within the country. Thank you very much for being with us. Always stay tuned for the latest news and updates across the globe. Goodbye and see you soon.